Hello, welcome to another edition of the Michigan Conservative Roundtable. Mac, Marty, and TJ just trying to enlighten you to some things from the conservative point of view. And something that struck me is, I don't want to go all sci-fi on you, but I'm going to try to go a little bit of sci-fi. We've talked before, the three of us, about various issues. I like the science fiction writer Robert Heinlein, and he actually wrote the original novel Starship Troopers. Don't think of it like the movie, because they really are two different stories. But one of the things the point he was trying to make in his novel, Starship Troopers, his sci-fi novel, was that only people in the military should be full citizens, because only soldiers really appreciate the true cost of citizenship. Now, at the end of the day, I don't really agree with that, but it was a compelling novel, a compelling idea presented in a compelling way. Okay, and I found myself fascinated by it in that regard. So, not to mix science fiction with conservative viewpoints too much, but does Heinlein have a point? Does that make sense at all?
To me, I haven't seen the movie or read the book, but it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm only going by your description, so to be fair, it doesn't make any sense to me. We're all citizens. We all have rights. Those of us who are here legally, I might add, are citizens and have rights, and those rights, our inalienable rights, come from God, not from any particular person's service to the community.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You mentioned sci-fi, and honestly, Marty, I thought you were going down the path of a lot of these science fiction movies that come out today reek of political correctness.
The Avatar.
You know, I don't remember the name of it, but some years ago they tried to come out with some science fiction futuristic submarine show on one of the major networks, and it tanked within a season because it reeked of don't eat hamburger and how the captain snuck away and ate a juicy hamburger in one episode. and I thought that's where we're going with this, but
Take it that way. That's fine.
But the thing of it is, you even Star Trek Next Generation, and I love Star Trek, but Star Trek Next Generation almost had too much political correctness in it for me, so I think TJ makes a very good point, and we're going to follow the Star Trek theme now just a little bit. I don't remember which incarnation of Star Trek it was, but in one of them, one of the characters was a Vulcan. Not surprising, Vulcans are common in the Star Trek universe, but he was black. Now, all right, be fair, nothing wrong with a black Vulcan. Nothing wrong per se, but...
Some of my best friends are black Vulcans.
My overriding point just kind of being, you don't have to be politically correct right down to the nth degree. What is it that makes you think that if there are other cultures out there, other sentient beings on other planets, why do they have to be made up exactly like we're made up on planet Earth? I mean, what really is the point there, except political correctness?
Right.
I
agree. You see it, like I mentioned Avatar a few minutes ago. That just reeked of man is bad. If it weren't for man, the planet would be great. But who would it be great for? Does a tree falling in the forest, if no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound, kind of thing. What good is the planet without people?
Yeah. No, the planet is nothing without people, and that's one of the things the progressives don't get. I'll say this point blank: the planet's here for us.
Right.
It's here for us. Now, what does that mean? That does mean we need to be good stewards. That does mean we need to take care of it. I'm not going to deny that in one way, shape, or form. But if humanity was gone, if there was no sentient life on Earth, no life of any type, then what would it mean? It would just be a rock going around the sun.
Like all the other rocks going around the sun.
Like all the other rocks going around the sun. And to really extrapolate away from what I think my original point might have been, I'm willing to argue we're the only intelligent life in the universe. I know there's a big thing out there because there's now they're talking hundreds of Earth-like planets. There must be other intelligent life on Earth. I'm going to fall back on the Fermi paradox. A good physicist. He was the head of the Manhattan Project after Dr. Robert Oppenheimer, who developed the atom bomb. Fermi took it over after Oppenheimer left. Okay, And he came up with, his question was, if there's other intelligent life, why haven't we seen it yet? And his point was, if you accept the premise that the universe is always expanding, even at the speed of light, an intelligent alien race could have gotten all the way across the entire universe in about 5 billion years. Mm-hmm. So that's plenty of time if the universe is 15 billion years old, as they tell us it is. The aliens should have found us by now. Where are they? The Fermi paradox. Keep that in mind.
Well, some would argue, and I'll play the devil's advocate here.
Oh,
you ever
you're
watch
quite a
this
devil,
silly show? I consider it silly because anything I don't know, well, it was the aliens. And it's a show called Ancient Aliens, and it's on
History
Channel, which is no longer the History Channel. Like TLC is no longer the
Learning Channel.
Learning Channel. It's the little people, polygamist, dating people you don't, or marrying people you don't know channel. Yeah. But I'm getting off my point, which is actually I forgot what my point was. In my diatribe there.
We were talking about aliens.
Aliens that they've already been here. So then they built the pyramids and they developed anything we don't know how to explain.
Well, that's old news. Chariots of the God, was that Eric von Daniken in the 70s?
Yeah, I remember. I saw that.
Alien race must have come, I actually read the book. I was fascinated with it when I was 12, and now I'm just not that fascinated with it anymore, I don't know, guys.
I would just like to say I love science fiction movies. It's just that every time I watch a science fiction movie, I feel like I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I love the Star Wars. I love Battlestar Galactica. If it's science fiction, I'm going to watch it at least one time. It's just that sometimes the political correctness makes it a challenge for me to enjoy that movie.
Well, the Star Trek movie with the whales, that was kind of along that line.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. That was in the 90s.
You got Kevin Costner's
86. Okay.
You have Kevin Costner's Waterworld, where man made the Earth's atmosphere so hot it melted all the ice, and then the whole globe flooded except for one small spot of land somewhere. But I like a good science fiction movie as much as the next person. It's just that I guess I nitpick at it.
The word good. There are good science fiction movies out there, but
and I'm going to guess they're lacking political correctness.
And I did get a good laugh at Starship Troopers over their lack of tactics. Rushing en masse up to an objective is not how you do it.
Well, TJ is our resident military expert, so I'll defer to him on that. We got anything else there, fellas?
No, like I said, my rights don't come from other people's services. I think that doctors, nurses, police officers, security personnel in buildings, people forget how many security people died in those buildings on 9/11 because they ran to the trouble, not from it.
Exactly.
And that's always overlooked. And these are not high-paid professionals. Well, they're not high-paid. They are professionals at their job, but so for those out there who'd say only people who've seen combat or only people who've served in the military have a say, sorry, not buying it.
Yeah, and I agree with Mac on that. That was just a bit of a jump-off point there. I did think Highline's point was very compelling and very compellingly told. But at the end of the day, no, our rights don't come from them, as Max said. Our rights are God-given.
One final comment, though. Mm-hmm. I have, not that I'm in favor of the draft, but I always wished everyone could have been in the military and saw what I saw on the East German border. That would have to be accomplished through a draft. But once I came back from Germany and saw what I saw on the East German border, that was the drum I beat for quite a while. Was gee, I wish everyone could have seen what I saw. And
I think that would have worked 30 years ago when we were younger, but today's generation, I think that they willfully blind.
You know what? That's something they read in a book. That's something they read in a book if they even read it.
They can see it. I had a fellow we used to work with, Terry, who said that capitalism has failed. And I was thinking about that as I was sitting at a Costco, and I'm looking at $1 billion worth of merchandise stacked to the ceiling, and all these people, they couldn't hardly move in the store. I'm thinking, how has it failed?
Well, when my son was in the Army, and my oldest son is a veteran, thank you for your service, Chuck. There's this big party in our neighborhood every September, and it's basically a progressive liberal. I don't care, I walk through and see what you see. I'm wearing this Army t-shirt. And I walk over to this booth where they've got this homemade beer, and this guy's just sneering at me. He's absolutely sneering at me, and I said, how much for a pint of that ale? And he goes, $5. Oh, give me one. The smile on his face. Pow, right now, kapow. He believes in capitalism. He's sneering at my Army t-shirt. He's sneering at what he thinks I am. You know, one of these rabid capitalist pro-America guys or whatnot. But man, oh man, did he take my 5 spot for that pint of ale just like that.
Right.
He's a capitalist. He's a capitalist. You know, so. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up right now. I just like to point out that now that we found out that TJ is a Star Wars fan, that be watching his next solo is going to be done in the voice of Jar Jar Binks. In the meantime, as we say in the Michigan Conservative Roundtable, be safe, watch your 6, and don't tread on me. Practice your Jar Jar, buddy.